in my first video on YouTube. In this video, I will show you how to compile Linux kernel from source code. Base distribution for compilation will be used Linux Mint 22.1. So let's start. First of all, what will be required to compile a Linux kernel? First of all, we will need to have any Linux distribution installed on our computer, like Ubuntu, Mint, Debian or other Linux distribution, and stable internet connection. First step is to download Linux kernel package from kernel webpage. To do this, we have to go to kernel.org webpage. Let's do this. Okay, so here I have opened kernel webpage. In this page we can find all available Linux kernel packages. I will download the last current Linux version, which is in this case 6.13.2. Let's do this. Maybe I will download somewhere into documents, into Linux kernel directory. Okay, and it is done. Now we need to unpack this kernel package, so let's do this. I will go to Linux kernel directory. And here we have our download package. So let's unpack this. So let's do this using tar command. Tar minus xvf and our file. Okay, it is done. The next step is to check our GCC compiler version, because GCC compiler will be used in our compilation process. So we already unpacked our kernel package, and we need to go to documentation, admin guide, and open readme rst file. In this readme rst file will be information regarding required GCC version for compilation. Let's do this. Okay, so I opened this readme rst file, and let's scroll down to get information regarding GCC compiler. Should be somewhere in the middle, if I remember. Let's check this. Yeah, here. Compiling kernel. And here we have information that make sure that you have at least GCC 5.1 available. So let's check our GCC version now, what we have. To do this, we have to call GCC with ---- version. So my version on my machine is 13.3. So it is higher than required by kernel, but we can update our GCC version for the future purposes. So maybe let's do this. This is one additional step as optional, update GCC. For update, GCC is compiler which will be used in kernel compilation. To update GCC, we have to go to GitHub GCC webpage. So let's go to this page. Yeah, here is GitHub GCC webpage. So let's check what version of GCC we have here available by tag. Yeah, we can download, for example, 14.2 from source code. So let's switch to this version, and yeah, we can use Git locally and synchronize with GitHub, but we can also do this by web page. I mean, download git GCC, just download a zip package here. Yeah, and maybe in GCC directory. Okay, GCC package is downloaded. So we have to now unpack this package. So now I will go to this GCC directory and let's check what we have here. Yeah, this is zip file, so I will use unzip application to unzip this GCC. Okay, GCC was unpacked, and now first step before we will do all things with GCC, we have to be sure that we have installed Flex. So let's check this. Yeah, just apt install Flex. But I have already installed this, so I have Flex. Now I will go to this unpack directory. It should be here, yeah. And let's check what we have inside. First step to compile GCC is to install additional packages which will be required by GCC. So I will just put this command. Please make sure that you are calling this command from GCC unpack directory. Okay, it's done. Next step is to create build directory. So let's call this just build. Inside this GCC directory, and let's jump to this build subdirectory. The next step is to configure our GCC. I will use one single command to do this for x86 architecture. This is single command. I will just paste because I will not type this one by one. This command is for configure our build. Okay, so now our build is configured, and we can just call make, and our GCC will be our GCC compilation will start. But we can, to speed up GCC compilation process, we can add some additional parameter like -j, and as a number, as a parameter to j, we can put here a number of threads which will be used in compilation. To check what many of threads we have inside our computer, we can use nproc call. Yes, in my machine I have 12 threads. So to do not freeze my operating system, maybe I will use 10, because 2 threads will be reserved for operating system to not freeze everything. So maybe I will call make command with 10 threads, right? So let's build GCC now. Okay. So GCC compilation is finished, so now we have to integrate our build with operating system. To do this, we have to call make install command with root. So let's do this. So I will type sudo make install Yeah, and now GCC is integrating with operating system. Okay, it is integrated, but let's check now GCC version. As we can see, default GCC version is still old, so we have to set default GCC version to new one. To do this, our path to GCC 14.2 should be in user local bin, if I remember. Let's check this. Okay, so in this location, user local bin, we have new GCC version. Let's check this. GCC -- version. Yes, we have 14.2, and now we have to create symbolic link to default GCC version. So let's call special command with root sudo update alternatives install default location is user bin GCC, this name GCC, and new location is user local bin GCC with some priority like 15. Date. Yeah, and now we can check it, what is default GCC version now. GCC -- version. Yeah, and it's 14. So we compiled successfully GCC. GCC was integrated with Linux operating system, and we set default GCC used in the system to version 14. Yes, so any compilation using GCC will use new version of GCC now. Okay, and the last step is to kernel compilation. So we already have unpacked the Nevest kernel 6.13.2, so we can compile and install this kernel. Let's do this step by step. Okay, first step for compile our kernel is to install additional packages. I will not type this manually, just I will copy paste those packages. They are already installed, so I will not they are not updated. Next step is to copy default config file for kernel. It should be copied from boot config to current Linux kernel directory. Yeah, that is copy. Next step is to configure our kernel. To do this, we need to call make many config many config command. Yeah, and we should leave this as is. Just we can modify this. This is kernel configuration before compilation, but I will leave this as is. Just exit and save. Yeah, and now we can. Now I have to disable default keys, because my distribution is based on Ubuntu, and I have to disable default certificates for compilation to avoid compilation issues, but this is only for Ubuntu based systems like Mint. And now I can just make command and my kernel will start compile. But as I mentioned in GCC compilation, we can speed up a compilation process by to make parameter j with number of threads. But let's check what many of threads we have. To do this, I will call nproc command. Yes, I have 12 threads in my CPU, so I will maybe compile my kernel with 10 threads and 2 reserved from system. And after call this command, my kernel compilation will start, and we should just wait till finished. Okay, so kernel compilation is finished. Now we have to install kernel modules files with root. So let's do this. Just sudo make modules install. And now kernel modules will be integrated with operating system. My password. Okay, and let's wait. Now kernel objects files will be integrated with system. Okay, so it is finished. Now kernel modules are installed, and the last step is to install our kernel. Final step, sudo make install. And our kernel will be integrated with operating system. This is final step. Okay, it's done. So after rebooting, our kernel should be new one. But before I will reboot my operating system, let's check what kernel version we have installed currently. Just uname -r. So currently my operating system is working on version 6.8.0. So now let's reboot and check after. Sudo reboot, and let's check after restart what version we will have. Okay, so now we have situation after reboot my operating system. Let's check kernel version, current kernel version, uname -r. Yeah, we have 6.13.2, so our kernel was properly installed and it's working after restart. You can additionally check neofetch, Yeah, we have confirmation, we have 6.13.2 kernel version. So our our goal is achieved. So thank you very much for watching this video, and see you.